A horrific case of abuse of a child by his own parents has shocked Kerala. The details that we are getting is that a 5-year-old in Idukki is critical after his father and stepmother inflicted inhuman torture on him. The child is currently lodged in the ICU of a Kumili hospital. The parents initially told the doctors that the child has fallen off a ladder and sustained injuries. But a detailed examination unmasked a tale of savage torture inflicted on the innocent. The child had deep wounds on his head and burn marks all across his body. His left limb has also been broken. The doctors identified the case as that of domestic torture, following which the police arrested the parents. Chief Minister Umman Chandy has sought an emergency report on the incident. Chandy admitted that such cases reflect the decay in society. And Praveen Kumar, our correspondent from Thiruvananthapuram, joins us on the phone line. Praveen, any reason why the parents were doing this to the child?
Maru, after the latest reports, police have told the minister concerned, Mr. Munir, that this woman who is pregnant again, and they wanted to get rid of this kid, and that they have been torturing, the stepmother has been torturing the child for quite a long time. In fact, the government is taking this very seriously now. CM Umman Chandy just told the media that it's a shame to the Kerala society, and also he has constituted a special committee headed by the additional chief secretary who is in charge of the social justice, and also other concerned secretaries, and they will submit a report to the government in a month's time. And based on that, Chandy reiterates that the government will not even shy away from constituting new laws to prevent such horrid cases of domestic violence and abuse. So the government is taking it very seriously. Munir is now rushing to Idukki district to personally monitor the developments there. District collector is already there, and the government is giving the boy the best possible treatment. And in fact, Munir told us that the boy is in the ventilator, so that they couldn't even think of shifting the boy to any other hospital out of the district. So the police have already arrested the father of the boy and his stepmother. So there's a clear case of domestic violence, domestic torture, and the boy's condition continues to be critical, Maru.
Right, Praveen, also tell us, what are the doctors saying? How soon before this child is going to be out of the critical state? Any indications coming?
Maru, doctors have told the police that the abuse should have been going on for quite some time now, maybe for several months. In fact, there is some unconfirmed report saying that the parents, in fact, tried to admit this child into an orphanage earlier. But seeing the condition of the child who was already injured, and all the orphanage people turned them away and said that the boy cannot actually take care of himself. So you will have to get the boy in the right health condition and bring him back here. Then even after that, the torture seemed to have continued, actually making the boy's condition very critical. He has a very deep wound on his head, and there were actually reports about a brain that
Praveen, just stay on with us because Shanta Sinha, child rights activist, is joining us on the phone line. Ms. Sinha, have you heard the details of this 5-year-old going through the kind of inhuman and savage torture at home? The government in Kerala has asked for a detailed inquiry. What is it that you plan to do?
No, as I told you, I am a child rights activist. I can only comment on what has happened. I must say that it's really very appalling and shocking that this has happened. I would think that certainly the neighborhood would have known that he was being subject to violence, and it is time that the neighbors don't think of it as a private matter and report such matters to police as soon as it comes to them. Just because it is done by parents or by one's own in the house does not mean a child does not have a human right. It becomes a public issue as soon as he is subject to violence. And I want the public to take cognizance of it and report it to police immediately.
Ms. Sinha, I want to ask you something. In such a case, especially after the child hopefully should be fine and let out of the hospital, what happens to such children? Because obviously he can't go back to his family.
So it cannot go to the backward family, and certainly they have to make a case assessment. It is for the Child Welfare Committee to recommend a proper care for the child through a credible institution, and also monitor the child till the child feels better and secure. These children can even be given for adoption. I think there are many options available now in the country, but first let the child recover and be treated properly by the hospital, and then it's for the Child Welfare Committee to show a right path to the child and where the child should be taken to.
I want to ask you another thing, Ms. Sinha. As far as the parents are concerned, what is the kind of possible severest punishment that they would face in such a case?
I think they should not be treated as parents, but they should be treated as criminals, and severe action. Just as how the law takes its course on criminals, they have to treat them as criminals and take its course. The severest of punishment has to be inflicted on them. Just because they are parents, they cannot be excused when they inflict violence on their children.
Okay, Ms. Sinha, thank you so much. Child rights activist, Ms. Shanta Sinha, they're speaking to us. But clearly, the pictures that you're seeing on your screens are of the parents of this 5-year-old who inflicted unimaginable, inhuman torture on the 5-year-old. Here are the facts of the case. This child is currently lodged in the ICU at a hospital. The parents told the doctors initially that the child had fallen off a ladder and sustained injuries. But when a detailed examination was done, we saw that the child had deep wounds on his head, burn marks all across his body, his left limb has been broken, and all of this because the stepmother felt that this is the kind of torture that should be meted out. We still don't know what the reasons are, but perhaps some kind of anger or hatred towards the child has led to this. We're trying to get more reactions as far as this story is concerned. M.A. Baby, former Education Minister from Kerala, joining us on the phone line. Mr. Baby, what happens in such cases?
First of all, it's a shocking and gruesome incident. We wish that authorities are capable of taking stern steps so that nobody would dare to behave in such brutal manner. You don't know as yet what were the circumstances, but whatever be the reasons, no one would suppose such a cruelty being perpetrated on a teenage, very, very, very young child. We shall hope that the authorities will order an inquiry, and on the basis of the results, I hope that exemplary steps are being initiated.
Mr. Baby, don't you think in this case, the parents should be treated as mere criminals? Such parents who are capable of such inhuman torture, such savagery, should clearly be taken as criminals and the severest action be taken. We seem to have lost Mr. Baby there, but just to give you more details, we also have Praveen on the phone line. Praveen, we're looking at these pictures. What is the sense that you're getting from the parents? Apart from saying that he fell off a ladder, have they said anything to the police? What were the reasons? They seem to be quite unapologetic about what has happened to the child.
Mehruk, so far the police have not given out the whole details in their questioning, but they said it's a clear case of domestic torture, where the boy has been subjected to a lot of beating up, burn marks on his several parts of his body. And in fact, the police says this mother actually wanted to get rid of this boy because she is already pregnant so she wanted to get rid of this boy. In fact, she already has another child with the same this father of the boy. So she didn't want to have this boy in their house, and she wanted to get rid of that. So that's how it's actually tantamount to killing that boy. They tried to torture him and to slowly kill him. So the police says there could be actually charges of attempt to murder booked against this couple. And also now we have got latest reports from Idiki. The neurosurgeon has just talked to Headlines today there. He said that the boy, 75% of the boy's brain is damaged. and the boy continues to be very critical. So the investigation is on. All the government officials are there. The government machinery has pulled up their socks and working on this. And the CM himself said that this is something that we have to be very ashamed of. And we have to see that such incidents do not repeat in Kerala, and the effort should be from both the society and also from the government to prevent such cases of torture in my room.
Right, Praveen, 75% of the brain, of the child's brain has been damaged by the kind of torture that he has gone through. Clearly, these are not parents, these are monsters who need to be acted upon, who need to have proper investigation and the law take its course and the severest punishment meted out to these parents who haven't acted as parents in this case, clearly, with the kind of torture that they have mounted on this 5-year-old, innocent 5-year-old, who's now in the ICU in critical care in a hospital in Kerala. Praveen, I want to ask you, didn't any of the parents or the neighbors living around in the area actually see the torture that was happening to the child? Did nobody report to the police for one, or to some social authority, child care authority in the area?
No, Mahrukh. In fact, only one information we had about the torture or the kind of the experience that boy had been undergoing is only from that orphanage where they tried to admit this boy earlier. But apart from that, no neighbors have so far complained about anything to the police or to the childline people so far. In fact, it should be, we don't know whether it had really happened inside the house, whether the boy was taken out at all. Maybe a neighbor said this boy is hardly seen outside their house. They couldn't, there was no signals of such a torture, signals of such torture happening inside that house. In fact, the neighbors never expected such a thing from a family. They have another 2 kids in that family. But to this boy, what happened, the neighbors had no clue. So there were no complaints. So that is why now Munir, minister says that the village Jagrata committees, where this Jagrata committees will be strengthened. So if at all some cases of such are reported, or if they come to know such cases, it is mandatory now for them to report that to the police. And the police have also been told to stay strong.
Praveen Kumar, thanks so much for that. We'll continue to follow the story.